So we've got major news in the Kemper world. The player, the wonderful, tiny player. And for those that don't know who I am, my name's Steve Sterlacci. I do all things amp modeling, profiling, capturing technology, whatever it is on this channel. So if you're a guitar player, you're into that sort of thing, consider subscribing. I also have a podcast all centered around digital amp modeling and all users. I just had, for you Kemper people, I just had Rod Castro on, who's a plays for Beyonce, BB Rexa, and Natasha Bedingfield. Really amazing player. His episode's coming out soon. I'm going to have a ton of Kemper guys. So if you are a Kemper user, consider checking out the Soundstage podcast. I'll put links below. Let's get to the content. I bought my player literally the day it was launched. I'd initially thought that it would make profiles and do everything that it can. I thought that this was the HX Stomp to Helix for Kemper. And after finding out that it's kind of like a little bit of a lesser version, a little less feature packed, a little less going on under the hood, I was like, you know what, that's fine. It's still a perfectly usable, great unit as it is. It's got its limitations, but this doesn't seem to be an all-in-one rig in my opinion. So you're going to use pedals with it. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Sure. And then there were the rumors going around that they were going to start offering paid upgrades to the Kemper player, which now are finally here, and we're getting our first look at and the price. I'm going to say first off that I really don't think I like this. I don't like this for the future of profiling and modeler content, and I really hope that this doesn't become a normal practice where companies will release a product that they already have software for, and they're going to basically nerf the hardware for a year, almost a year. I think it came out in January, and it's now it's September. And then 9 months later, they're going to release upgrades where, hey, if you want all of the features of the flagship, all you got to do is cough up a little extra, and then you get it. I think that Line 6 and Fractal have done this right, and all of their units are the same within limitations of CPU. So with few exceptions of really high DSP intensive blocks on the Fractal, Helix, you could do anything on a small HX Stomp that you could do on a big Helix, just within DSP restrictions. If you use a pitch block, you're pretty much shot anyway, but at least you have the option as the user. And then Fractal, I think there's just a couple of blocks that aren't included on the lesser models just because it can't handle the horsepower, which is cool because you could do all of your basics, all of your necessities without having to pay anything extra. And then you have Neural's escapades, if you will. I don't know what to call it. I don't know. Is that considered a negative word? I don't know if I consider it totally negative. They are offering the plugins as a pay to play type of thing, where if you own or you want to buy a plugin, you can pay for it and then have it imported into your Quad Cortex. Right now, they only have 2 available, which, you know, it is what it is as they put more out. I get that because the plugins and the modeler has always been separate products. The plugins have been around forever, and the Quad Cortex came out after the plugins. And now I just view them as separate products. So I view the plugins as their own thing. I view the Quad Cortex as its own thing. And if you have a plugin you really like, and it's not in the Quad Cortex, the sound, you can buy it and put it in. I have less of a problem with that than I do with this. And now Quad came out with the Nano Cortex, which I also have, that is a completely nerfed unit, but I also don't really mind because they didn't really promote it as an all-in-one type of solution. It's pretty much just a capture box with a couple of fun bells and whistles is how I view it. So if they follow suit with this and wind up charging for upgrades, then I think we're going to have problems, at least me personally. I don't think that if you have the Quad Cortex, you should now have to pay for the Nano Cortex to get the upgrades, to get the different effects. So that's kind of what is going on with Kemper here. And Audrey's barking at the mailman outside. Sorry about that. Audrey's best friend, our mailman, Dominic, who gives her treats, is out there. So she's saying hello. So let's really look into here. So what are we getting? You have 2 upgrade levels. So it's not even just 1 upgrade. This is 2 tiers of upgrade. Let's take a look. Okay, so if you want to do it at a glance, Okay, all the effects become unlocked, so there's nothing off limits. You get morphing, which is a really big feature for people that are using Kemper. Morphing it allows you to change the parameters of something at the stomp of a button. Rig X fade time and the beat scanner. And then if you want to upgrade that to the level 3, which is ultimately look, if you're spending, I think it's 180. I think it's 180 for one and 300 for both. So I can't see it. How do you not just get all of them? This is the thing, 8 blocks. The 8 effects blocks, not counting the amp and cab. That's the game changer for me. And the parallel path, rig spillover. So the level 3 is really where it's at. So I'd say 2 from level 2 are the most important here. All the effects, the morphing for level 2, I think that's the real bread and butter. And then level 3, you get the ultimate parallel path, rig spillover, and 8 effects blocks. So they also made it where you need both. You need both. How are you not going to get both? Who is just going to upgrade to level 2? Who's not going to want 8 effects blocks or the parallel path and the rig spillover? Because this being such a small unit now, with 8 effects blocks and rig spillover, you can now just have an all-inclusive unit with the Morningstar MC6, for example, or any other MIDI controller that you might choose. So you're kind of suckered and cornered into doing level 3. Let's take a look here if there's any other information here. Yes, morphing, you'll have regime about yada, 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 details and pricing. So here's the bundle. Yeah, the bundle's $299. Okay, so look, so you get 180 for level 2 and then 150 for level 3. So, I mean, you're crazy if you don't do the $299, I think. And the profile player, obviously, it's $729 now. I think I paid $700 when it first launched. So now you're looking at you're looking at a grand for the Kemper player. And that's more in line with the Fractal FM3. And then if you go to something like Reverb or wherever you go to your used gear, you can get a full stage used. Look at this one, $1,090. I mean, and I'm sure if you look on your local marketplace, Craigslist, whatever, you can find a full-blown Kemper stage for about $1,000. Instead of buying the player plus a MIDI controller plus the upgrade, you're going to be looking at well over what you would spend on a Kemper stage if you buy secondhand. I get it. Some people want to buy new. That's fine too. I like that Kemper's, this is such a weird situation to be put in because I like that they're moving forward. I like that they're upgrading. I like that they're adding features, but $300 just feels like a lot. This is hard. So when I look at Tone Junkie has a Facebook group now that, we're kind of going around in here. A lot of people seem to be agreeing with me that they don't like that this could be the direction that other ones follow suit. I hope no one else follows suit with this because if Kemper does it, cool, that could be their thing. But I really hope that this doesn't trickle out to other brands and other people start doing this. But Tone Junkie had a good perspective on this. And I know he's going to do his own video on this. So if you haven't checked out Tone Junkies, I'm sure you all follow him if you ever watch this content. So he's going to make the same video or similar type of video, but he offered a different perspective when I wrote him. He makes a good point that the people who own the player haven't lost anything. Their player still functions exactly as it did. And he's kind of on board with it. So I guess if you bought the player and you bought it for what it was on day one, it's still exactly as good as it was. But I don't know. I feel like when we buy these modelers now, you're not just paying for what it can do today. You're also paying for what it can do tomorrow. Even if it's not promised or guaranteed, you're still at least optimistic that the company's going to support the product and give you your free updates. It's a bit weird. And then I saw a couple of questions about this too, where what if you have 2? What if you bought 2 of these to be in stereo? Do you now have to upgrade both? Or is it tied to your account and you can upgrade, you could buy one upgrade and apply it to 2 units? So I'm definitely curious about that. If anybody has experience with that or figures out that, let me know in the comments. And because I feel like that's a point too. I mean, do you have to pay twice? Do you have to upgrade each unit? Or do you just have to pay once for the upgrade and then you can apply it to 2? What if I buy a backup? If I buy a backup, do I have to now pay twice? I'll probably wind up doing it because I'm just a sucker and I want to put out content on it. So I'll probably be able to do it. And I'll probably wind up with it. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this, because this is definitely going to be a hot topic right now, especially with the Nano Cortex coming out. Now that you've got your Tonexes out there, a lot of competition right now in this small box world. So yeah, let me know what you think. Made it this far. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.